want you to imagine that you just had the greatest day of hanging out with some of your best friends. Seriously, a day that's so epic, so perfect. You can't wait to get home and Facebook all the funny inside stories and post pictures from earlier that day. Do you have a good image? All right. Now I want you to imagine that you and your friends are driving to your favorite convenience store. You get out of the car, you walk up to the soda fountain, and you fill up a 44-ounce cup of your all-time favorite soda. My cup would be filled with good old American Coca-Cola. Pretty great way to end the date, right? I mean, Coca-Cola definitely tastes great. But have you ever wondered why it's so different than all the other soft drinks? Now imagine a world where Coca-Cola, literally father of all other soft drinks, didn't exist. Well, if the inventor of the beverage, Dr. John Pemberton, had known what he was doing back in 1888, we wouldn't have the drink we know and enjoy today of Coca-Cola. See, Dr. Pemberton had actually been working on trying to develop a medication that would be able to treat and cure headaches. And after years of failure, he was so frustrated, he just felt like giving up. But little did he know what he thought was his biggest failure actually ended up being his greatest success. An achievement so amazing that to this day, 125 years later, has resulted in the world's most valuable brand. Dr. Pemberton understood that with determination, anything was possible. But how many times have we found ourselves in that kind of situation? So aggravated, overwhelmed, and so frustrated that giving up seemed like the only option possible. Those situations where those nasty, mean little things I like to call mind monsters become the main thing in your brain. Those voices that tell you those hurtful, negative things like, you might as well just give up, and you're definitely not good enough. That won't go away no matter how hard you try to turn down their volume. I know I have issues with my mind monsters from time to time. But regardless of what your mind monsters might tell you, we all have our obstacles to overcome. But the easiest way to drown out and overcome the sound of our mind monsters is to create an individualized mental checklist and to have the self-confidence to see that our goals get done. Because if you can follow those two easy steps, then determination to follow your goals will follow naturally. See, being determined isn't about not having fear. It's about having the courage to push yourself past those fears. Determination isn't about how many times you fall, but how you get back up to fight the fight once again. For example, author Kathleen Stockett, who wrote the book The Help, she was just a Southern girl who was born and raised in Jackson, Mississippi. She was no different than you or I. But through her determination, she was able to help countless lives in the Deep South by giving a voice to so many when others before her were often quick to silence them. After Miss Stockett's college graduation, she returns home to find that the family-made Constantine, which had raised her from birth, was long gone, and no one could give her a straight answer as to where she went. Miss Stockett begins reminiscing of all the invaluable life lessons taught to her, and just when she seemed to need it most, when her mind monsters were at war inside of her, she remembers one of the most important lessons taught to her by Constantine.
Every day you're not dead in the ground. When you wake up in the morning, you're going to have to make some decisions. You're going to ask yourself this question. Am I going to believe all the bad things that fools say about me today? You hear me? Am I going to believe all the bad things that fools say about me today?
In that clip, we see how Constantine inspired Miss Stockett to not believe all the nasty, hurtful things about her, to be determined to her goals, and to make the most of each day that we're given. And it's so important that we know that we're all capable of making the most of each day that we're given, because we're all worth doing great things in life. So I challenge you to triumph over your mind monsters. I challenge you to stay true to your goals and to follow whatever your heart desires. Because any journey you take, if you can take it with courage, with passion, with determination, it'll have an impact on the FFA, on those around you, and most importantly, an impact on yourself. So never forget to keep on dreaming.